Okay, here we are. We're live. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm gonna test that real quick. Gonna get it on my phone because I accidentally deleted everything. So yeah, clear the queue. Why am I doing this? Hold on. Cancel. What? Oh. Okay. I think my mic is working. That's good. That's good. Alright. Now we get started. Because Beyond the Wire. So, in the title, I have crap quality. That is because it is crap quality. Let me show you my graphics settings if it wants to load. Okay, there we go. Graphics. Here are my graphics settings. Like, low, off, low, 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 low. Everything is off. It's kind of gross, if you ask me. And this is what I have to have them at. I need to turn up. I need any of this. That's a little bit important because... yeah, obviously, epic audio quality. Here we go. You know, let's do a smaller server. I'm not trying to crash my computer yet. Basically, that's what I'm gonna be doing for right now. Is I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna be streaming until it crashes. Crashes. Be playing until it crashes, which shouldn't take very long, knowing my computer. So, yeah. Okay, we'll join the German because. Ooh, wait, what about the recon? Oh, it's long. Ooh. Oh, you can find them? This is a blessing. No! No! What's up? Welcome to the stream. What's up? Good job, everyone.
Good job, boys. Good job.
Yeah.
Nice.
I apologize. This is where my game will lag out. Like between when I die, I hit enter, I respawn. It lags really bad and stops respawning and stuff like that. So I'll just stay on the Germans. I don't think I want to deal with the. Never mind. I guess I have to. I don't want to be command. You know what? I'm just gonna join these guys. Whatever. I'll be a assault. Yes! You don't understand. No! No! Let me be it. Let me be it. No! Dude. That's so annoying. I mean, no. That's fine. It's whatever. I'm not gonna complain. There we go. Chappy and Wonky. How is it so far? Don't trust any big vids. Oh! Okay, so this game is really good. Here, I'll show you my stat FPS. I'm getting 33 FPS. I have a garbage computer. Part of the reason I'm streaming, I usually do Roblox because, you know, it's a really easy game to play. But I play games like Postscriptum and Squad. Personally, I enjoy both very much. I like Postscriptum more than Squad, just because I like World War II more than I do like modern stuff. And this game, honestly, is better, in my opinion,
I don't think you can.
than Postscriptum. I don't know. I like the gunplay in this game.
Oh, yeah.
If it had the gunplay, like the pistol gunplay is like Postscriptum, I think I like it even better. Yeah. For how many hours? I have 332 hours on Postscriptum and 578 on Squad. 570 on Squad. This game so far, I only have like 8 hours. But no, I like this game. I think it's worth the buy, to be honest. They have some bugs to work out. They have some optimizing they need to do. Because this game could be running better. Even people with good PCs are saying that. And I get just the same amount of frames as I do in this game as I do. Same. How does this compare to BF1 Hardcore? BF1 Hardcore, like, is it worth? Dude, okay. It is Battlefield 1 Hardcore. Nothing compared to this. I've tried that like once before, and I was playing on a pretty crap computer, kind of like mine, but it's still it was still fun. But this is definitely better, more realistic. Has like good game mode here. You see this, like, I'll explain it here. So how this map works, it's called, I think it's called Frontlines. That's the game mode. You have a middle objective that everyone starts off. Sometimes it's like one objective, and both teams rush the objective, like all at once. Hold on, I'm trying to snipe someone. See, pistols are not very far. These are the enemies. Oh! Ah! Okay, sorry. I got snuck up on. I could hear him. Yeah, no, they'll eventually optimize it. You know, like, it's a new game. It's still work in progress. You see the watermark, and for a work in progress game, that I think can push up against like Postscriptum and stuff. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. A lot of her done. Yeah. Here, I'll pick like a rifleman class, or medic, so I can actually do stuff. Rifleman, because you get grenades. Sorry, medic. I'm not in a medic mood right now. I wouldn't be a good medic. Yeah. So what I did for this game is I lowered my sensitivity a lot right here for the when swimming down. This game is pretty original in my opinion. People were like Shroud today. I watched his stream. Shroud, he was like, "Dude, it's just there's this game. It's just like Squad, but it's World War One." And I was like, normally, whenever you're doing that with Postscriptum and Squad, it makes a little bit more sense because Postscriptum and Squad, in my opinion, oh gosh, are very similar games in certain aspects, but the one is just World War II, and the other one is just not. Watch, you'll see this. No! Dude, I couldn't hear him. That guy was waiting for me. I was just about to go on a melee spree, but I failed. My bad. Melee in this game is like Mordau. I know I'm comparing again, but it's like its own system. It's literally its own system. It's not like Postscriptum where you just have the bayonet where you can just it's one action and it does one thing. This one, it's one hit kill as far as I've seen. I don't think I've gotten any 2 hits with anything, but I don't know, man. My commentary's not that good, but you can climb out this? I didn't know you could climb out that. I did not know you could climb out that. Thank you. Like right now, the reason why I picked a low pop servers because it's normally a lot more fast paced than this. It's a lot more fast paced than this. It's just I'm in a low pop server because I'm trying to get my game to actually at least run the game for a little bit.
Right on us, right on us. Oh.
Oh, and if you see holding your aim more steady lets you aim better and also use the same. So you only do it for a short time. I know in Postscriptum what I do is I like use it to zoom in to like spot people, but you can do that in this game, but it's not as viable because then you'll just not be able to like you're gonna be out of breath. And you can tell this game's not like Verdun because you know dang well. And Verdun, sitting on this hill, you'd be dead. You'd be so dead. You could barely peek a corner in Verdun without getting your head blown off. You know what I mean? Like dead. Verdun's a hard game, especially because it's low population as well. That kind of messes with me. Then again, I've never been in a full game of Verdun because the game has always been dead whenever I played.
Not good.
Oh! Should have fired.
That was funny.
Just got blasted though. That was funny. So what are you thinking about this game so far? What are your thoughts on what you've gathered? If you're still here. On the new game scale, I rate it an 8.5 out of 10. And worth a buy. Either now or in the future. Because you just know in the future it's probably going to get better. So if you get it now, you'll be able to follow the story better of the game. It's always fine, like, whenever I play a game, people are always like, oh, remember the old days whenever like it was like this? And I'm like, nah, I don't. I just got the game, and now I feel left out. So it's kind of the reason why I got this game. I was going to wait for it to get better, but... people are already trying to sweat in this game. Like, you see people always jumping like this, like doing jumps. It doesn't use much stamina, if anything. Go ahead and clear this trench now. You kidding me right now? Dead, just how he should be. What the? What are you doing there? How did you even get here? There's guys coming up here on us. Oh, I knew it. I died. Hello, Corey. You checking out this game? Dude, this is good. It's really satisfying shooting someone, too, because you see their body, like, drop. I don't know, it's weird. Because in post-scriptum, whenever you shoot someone, you get, like, a hit notification. In this game, it's kind of like squad, so you don't get it. So when you shoot someone, it's kind of like you don't know if you shot them or not, or if they're dead. So it's kind of like a, I don't know. It's interesting.
They're kind of coming behind me.
Yep.
Oh no.
And I think that's really cool. Oh, as you can see, we lost that objective. Because our team isn't very good. I'm not very good, but you know how to. Yo, Corey, watch the debate. I might switch this to the debate stream in a minute. I might go watch a debate. We'll see. Because I want to watch this debate. I forgot. It's not done. Gabe lied to me, so. Ha! Oh. What just happened? Okay, that was me on a potato. That's an enemy. That's an enemy. That's an enemy. That's an enemy. There's an enemy, by the way, coming to your right. Oh, I'm dead. That's a shotgun, man.
I just took a shotgun to the face.
Wait, you took a shotgun to the face too? Did we both take a shotgun to the face at the same time?
I don't know. Were you behind someone?
Maybe I was behind you because I died and then you said that.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going over there.
My character's head hurts now. Going to this debate, baby.
Yank.
Time ever that the way this president has responded to this crisis has been absolutely tragic. And so, folks, I will take care of this. I will end this.
President Trump, I'd like to follow up with you. Your comments. You talked about taking a therapeutic. I assume you're referencing. You also said a vaccine will be coming.
Netcode?
Is that a guarantee?
No, it's not a guarantee by the end of the year, but I think it has a good chance. There are two companies I think will manufacture, and it will be distributed. Johnson & Johnson.
His arm!
Moderna is doing very well. Pfizer is doing very well, and we have numerous others. Then we also have others that will work very closely with other countries, in particular Europe.
Let me follow up.
Oh, I killed one! I killed one!
Within weeks now, your
I
own
killed
officials
one!
say it could take well into 2020
I killed one!
at the earliest for enough Americans to get vaccinated. And even then, they say the country will be wearing masks and distancing into 2022. Is your timeline realistic?
What a weird thing
No,
to
I
have
think their
happen in the
timeline's
background
going
of
to
a
be more
debate.
accurate. I don't know that they're counting on the military the way I do, but we have our generals
So
lined
awkward.
up. One in particular, that's the head of logistics.
So awkward.
And this is a very easy distribution for him. He's ready to go as soon as we have the vaccine.
Bro, I'm taking Ebo all by myself.
100 million vials. As soon
Do
as we
that.
have
Yeah,
the
I'm working
vaccine,
on it,
he's
bro.
ready to
Calm
go.
down.
Vice President Biden.
No, I'm not saying that like I'm mad at you guys.
Okay,
Jerry. Pointing out that they're really just kidding.
I'm just kidding, bro.
If it was
Oh,
approved by the
shit.
government, what steps would you take
Like they
to
just
make
forgot about it or something, bro.
in a vaccine?
I got the guy that
Make
shot
sure
you?
it's totally transparent. Have the scientists will see it, know it, look at it, go through all the processes. And by the way, this is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter last time. This is the same fellow who told you that, don't worry, we're going to end this by the summer. We're about to go into a dark winter. And he has no clear plan.
Oh no, a dark winter?
If there's going to be a
No, not that!
majority of the American
Dude,
people
I don't care.
President Trump is watching. He says you have no plan.
Bro, everyone thought it was gonna be done
and study
spring.
and understand the disease, which we didn't at the beginning.
I'm back that
When
guy
I
up.
closed and banned China from coming in heavily infected, and then ultimately Europe, China was in January. Months later, he was saying I should have, moved quicker. But he didn't move quicker. He was months behind me. Many months behind me. And frankly, he ran the H1N1 swine flu. It was a total disaster, far less lethal.
He's on the tree, 75 tree.
Had that
75
700,000 people would be dead right now. But it was a far less lethal disease. Look, his own person who ran that for him, who, as you know, was his chief of staff, said it was catastrophic. It was horrible. We didn't know what we were doing. Now he comes up and tells us how to do this. Everything that he said about
No!
every single
What?
move that he said we should
Oh
make,
my god.
that's what we've done.
Oh my
We've
god,
done
this
all
is
of
such a
it. But he
fail.
was way behind us.
Vice President Biden, your response.
My response is he is xenophobic, but not because he shut down
He's
access from China. And he did it late after 40 countries had already done that. In addition to that, what he did, he made sure that we had 44 people that were in there in China trying to get to Wuhan to determine what exactly the source was. What did the president say in January? He said, no, he said,
talking about?
he's being transparent. The president of China is being transparent. We owe him a debt of gratitude. We have to thank him. And then what happened was we started talking about using the Defense Act to make sure we go out and get whatever is needed out there to protect people. And again, I'll go back to this. He had nothing, he did virtually nothing. And then he gets out of the hospital and he talks about, don't worry, it's all going to be over soon. Come on. There's serious scientists in the world who think it's going to be over
That guy got
soon.
popped.
President
I
Trump,
say over soon. I say we're learning to live with it. We have no choice. We can't lock ourselves up in a basement like Joe does. He has the
Ow.
ability to lock himself
Teammate,
up.
hello?
He's obviously made a lot of money someplace, but he has this
I got
thing about
popped.
living in a basement. People can't do that. By the way, I, as the
it was a
president,
team
couldn't
kill.
do that. I'd love to put myself in the basement or in a beautiful room in the White House and go away for a year and a half until it disappears. I can't do that. And Kirsten, every meeting I had, and I'd meet a lot of families, including Gold Star families, military families, every meeting I had, and I had to meet them. I said, this is dangerous, and you catch it. I caught it. I learned a lot. Great hospitals, and now 99.9 of young people recover. 99% of people recover. We have to recover. We can't close up our nation. We have to open our spirit, and we can't close up our nation, or you're not going to have
My bad,
it.
And of course, the CDC has
I
said
am,
young
like,
people can get
dying.
sick with COVID-19 and can pass it. Vice President Biden, I want to talk
So I
broadly
haven't
about
climbed yet.
though. You
I
have
respond to that.
Oh shit. Fucking sniping me and shit.
He says that
Motherfuckers.
we're learning to die with it. There's folks home who have an empty chair at the kitchen table this morning. That man or wife going to bed tonight and reaching over and trying to touch their out of habit where their wife or husband was is gone. Learning to live with it. Gone.
But why?
Dying with it.
My question
Because
is,
he never said it's dangerous. When's the last time? Is it really dangerous still? Are we dangerous? You tell the people it's dangerous now? What should they do about the danger? And you say, I take no responsibility.
Let me talk about your two.
Excuse me,
very
I take full responsibility. It's not my fault that he came here. It's China's fault. And you know what? It's not yours fault that he came here either. It's China's fault. They kept it from going into the rest of the world for the most part, but they didn't keep it from coming out to the world, including Europe and ourselves.
Vice President Biden.
The fact is that
We're doing great, guys. Only 150 meters away.
it's going to go away. Be gone by Easter. Don't worry. The warm weather. Don't worry. Make sure inject bleach. He said he was kidding when he said that. A lot of people thought it was serious. A whole range of things that he said.
what are people talking about?
He thinks we are in control. We're about to lose 200,000 more people.
Just to finish this, when I closed, he said I shouldn't have closed. And that went on for months. Nancy Pelosi said the same thing. She was dancing on the streets in Chinatown in San Francisco. But when I closed, he said, this is a terrible thing, you're xenophobic. I think he called me racist even. And because I was closing it to China. Now he says I should have closed it earlier. It just, Joe, it doesn't
It doesn't make sense.
You certainly did.
Why would he? Okay, why would he be xenophobic
Talked
then?
about his xenophobia in a different context about closing the
Wasn't
border.
he said? Oh, I'm dead. But
I want to talk about.
I don't think he ever said
strategies to handling
He
it.
thought I
anything
shouldn't have
about,
closed the border.
like,
That's obvious.
nothing about hating
Is that, do you want to
Asian
respond to that
people.
quickly, Vice President
No.
Biden? Okay. Let's talk about your different strategies toward dealing with
He's
this.
not
Mr.
racist.
Vice President, you suggested you would support new shutdowns if scientists recommended it. What do you say to Americans who are fearful that the cost of shutdowns, the impact on the economy, the higher rates
that's
of
a
hunger,
problem.
depression, domestic and substance abuse outweighs the risk of exposure to the virus?
What I would say is I'm going to shut down the virus, not the country. It's his ineptitude that caused the virus.
People's livelihoods-
Shut down in large part.
You will have
Why
more
businesses
people's
are
livelihoods
under, why schools
ruined
are
because of
closed, why
coronavirus
so many
and
people
shutting
lost
down.
their living.
Hold on, I'm
Why they're
pausing it.
concerned. Those other
You will have more people who lose their livelihoods and, you know, their means of living comfortably and happily. But then you'll have a couple people dead. People's livelihoods and their lives, you know, their means of, like, living happily, comfortably. I mean, I don't know.
concerns are real
It
control.
bothers me.
Under
I
more
don't know.
control. But when you do open,
I'd rather be
give
able to
the
live
people
my
the
life.
capacity to be able to open and do it safely. For example, schools. Schools, they need more money to go. They need to go to schools, teachers, more lives. And he's refused to support it, or at least up to now.
Let's talk about schools. President Trump,
I think we have to respond to that.
please, and then I have a follow-up.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. Look, all he does is talk about shutdowns, but forget about him. His Democrat governors, Cuomo in New York, you look at what's going on in California, you look at Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Democrats all, they're shut down so tight and they're dying. And he supports all these people. All he talks about is shutdowns. No, we're not going to shut down. We have to open our schools. And it's like, as an example, I have a young son, he also tested positive. By the time I spoke to the doctor the second time, he was went away. Young people, guess it's their immune system.
Let me follow up with you, President Trump. You've demanded schools open in person. But just yesterday, Boston became the
He just
latest
team
state
killed.
to move its public
He just
schools
team
to
killed his buddy.
entirely online
He
after
just team
coronavirus
killed his
spike.
buddy because
What is
I
your
moved
message
out
to
of the
parents
way.
who worry that sending their
Oh
children to school
my
will
God.
endanger not only their kids but also their teachers and families?
I wanna open
The moments
school.
I'm having
Go,
a
go,
listen to
boys.
this in the background.
Teachers
Yo,
and
an enemy
very
just team
small.
killed his friend because I was running behind him with my knife and
We're not
I
gonna have a
moved.
country. You
he
can't
shot
do
his
this.
friend in the back.
We can't keep this country closed. This is a massive country with a massive economy. People are losing their jobs. They're committing suicide.
The question is, did you
Exactly.
get
Depression,
the
That's all I'm
get
saying.
drugs at a level that nobody's ever seen before.
Destroying a
There's
bunch of
abuse,
people's
tremendous
lives
abuse.
over a
We have to
fix
open
that
our
could
country.
have,
I've said
you
it
know, people
often.
living
The
happily,
cure cannot be
comfortably, and
worse
you have
than the
the.
problem itself.
It's
And
very
that's what's
unfortunate,
happening.
but you have
And
the
he
people
wants
who
to
can't,
close
you
down-
know.
he'll close down the country.
Obviously, you do. You
One
can
person
first,
in
you know,
our-
see if you
in
need
our
to, and if you need to, then you shut everything
massive
off. If a
Vice
number,
President
a
Biden,
large
you're
number of
saying
people's lives are at
We're able
risk,
to walk
but
and
like
chew
they're
gum
not
at the
right
same
now.
time.
A
We ought
super
to be
large
able to
number of
safely
people
open. They need
who are at risk.
resources to open.
They can wear masks. They can do what they want.
Business.
But,
have
like,
social
I don't know.
distancing in the business. You need to have, if you have a restaurant, you
Might
need
be
to have
thinking too
plexiglass
harshly,
dividers
but
so
that's
people
how I
cannot
see it.
infect one another. You need to be in a position where you can take testing rapidly and know whether a person
See, this is what I like about this game as well. When you lean,
You need to be able to trace.
it like
You need to be
switches
able to provide
shoulders. I
all
like
the
that. That's
resources
I
needed
like
to
that.
do this. And that is not
Also lets you get
consistent
hold
with
angles.
saying that make sure that we open safely.
We're about to
And by
lose
the
this
way,
game. I'm
all
like
you
the only
teachers
one
out
on
there,
this.
not that many of you are going to die, so don't.
President Trump, let me follow up with you quickly.
Well, I will say this, if you go and look at what's happened to New York, it's... And when you talk about plexiglass, these are restaurants that are dying. These are businesses with no money.
People without jobs.
It's really expensive, and it's not the answer. I mean, you're going to sit there in a cubicle wrapped around with You can't do that to people. You just can't. Take a look at New York and what's happened tonight. Wonderful city. It's dying. Everyone's leaving here.
Take a look at what New York has done and turn it fine. And I don't look at this in terms of blue states and red states. They're all the United States. You look at the states and coronavirus. They're the red states. They're the states in the Midwest. They're the states in the upper Midwest. That's where the spike is occurring significantly. But they're all Americans. They're all Americans. And what we have to do is say, wear these masks, make sure we get the help that the businesses need. The money's already been passed. It's been out there since the beginning of summer, and nothing's happened.
Has lost more than 40,000 people, 11,000 people in nursing homes.
President Trump, what
When you
about-
say Pennsylvania, where they've had a look at what's happening. It's been like a prison.
Bro, I'm going off to the presidential debate right now.
Take a look at North Carolina. They're having spikes, and they've been closed, and they're getting killed financially. We can't let that happen. We have to open, and we understand the disease. We have to protect our seniors.
Did I just do that, or did you do that? I can't even tell. I'm sorry.
Never mind, oh shit, I got one, but then
Let
another
me
one
follow
killed
up with
me.
you before we move on to our next section.
I'll come get you up in a sec.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's described him in public.
I'm still killing people.
If you're not listening to them, who are you listening to as you fight them?
I'm listening to all of them. But
You kidding me?
he did say, as you know, this is not going to be a problem. He's a Democrat, but that's okay.
Oh, so it does take 2 hits. Oh my gosh. What just happened? It just went off.
Nobody knew where it was coming from, what it was. We've learned a lot.
That's
But
great.
Anthony said, don't wear masks. Now he wants to wear masks. Anthony also said, if You look back, exact words. Here's his exact words. This is no problem. This is going to go away soon. So he's allowed to make mistakes. He happens to be a good person.
Vice President Biden, your response quickly, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
My response is that think about what the president knew in January and didn't tell the American people.
Bruh, he didn't
He
know.
was told this was a serious virus that spread in the air, and it was much worse than the flu. He went on record. And
It is
said
worse
to
than the flu.
One of your colleagues recorded that, in fact, he knew how dangerous it was, but he didn't want to tell us. He didn't want to tell us because he didn't want us to panic. He didn't want us. Americans don't panic. He panicked. Well, guess what? In the meantime, we find out in the New York Times the other day that, in fact,
I had like
spokesman for Wall
26
Street
kills or
said this
something.
is a
It's on
really
their
dangerous
stream.
thing, and a memo
That was
out of
fun.
meeting,
I like
not
this
from
game.
his administration, but from some of the
It's more
brokers said,
action-packed than
sell
this
short
normally,
because
so.
we got to get moving. It's a dangerous problem.
Well, this is
I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond, and then we're
The
going
Wall
to
Street
move
one, I
on.
don't know. Somebody went to Wall Street. You're the one that takes all the money from Wall Street. I don't take it. You have raised a lot of money, tremendous amounts of money. And every time you raise money, deals are made, you know. I could raise so much more money. As president and as somebody that knows most of those people, I could call the heads of Wall Street, the heads of every company in America. I would blow away every record, but I don't want to do that because it puts me in a bad position. And then you bring up Wall Street. You shouldn't be bringing up Wall Street because you're the one that takes the money from Wall Street, not me. I could blow away your records that like you wouldn't believe. We don't need money. We have
This is
plenty of
scary.
money. In
This
fact,
is crazy.
we beat Hillary Clinton with a tiny fraction of the money that she was able
All right, gentlemen, we're going
Don't
to move
tell me
on.
about Wall Street.
Average contribution, $43.
All right, we're going to move on to our next section, which is national security. And I do want to start with the security of our elections and some breaking news from overnight. Just last night, top intelligence officials confirmed again that both Russia and Iran are working to influence this election. Both countries have obtained U.S. voter registration information, these officials say, and Iran sent intimidating messages to Florida voters. This question goes to you, Mr. Vice President. What would you do to put an end to this threat? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
I made it clear, and I ask everyone else to take the pledge. I made it clear that any country, no matter who it is, that interferes in American elections will pay a price. They will pay a price. It's been overwhelmingly clear this election, I won't even get into the last one, this election, that Russia has been involved, China has been involved to some degree, and now we learn that Iran is involved. They will pay a price. They're interfering with our
I'm not afraid to shoot children or churches, bro. Put that shit down, hurry.
sovereignty.
No, we gotta
To my
wait till.
knowledge, I don't think the president said
You know what
anything
sucks? You can kill each other during this
I don't
fucking
think
setup
he's
phase.
talking a lot. I don't think he said a word. I don't know why he said a word. And I don't know what he
Nerd.
So we can.
I was just about to.
Why would you shoot a medic?
What is this?
Oh yeah, the medic is
Nah, this is where you can spar.
from a point.
Like, try and hit me while I'm blocking.
Don't shoot him so he can heal me.
Here, I want to do it.
Well, I should.
Hey,
I will. His buddy,
Insurrectional.
he's
Nice.
being used-
Oh, what? I was kicked.
He's being fed information
Better
that
give
is
me-
What?
that is not true. And then what happens? Nothing happens. And then you find out that everything that's going on here about Russia is wanting to make sure that I do not get elected the next president of the United States because they know I know them and they know me. I don't understand why this president is unwilling to take on Putin when he's actually paying bounties to kill American soldiers in Afghanistan, when he's engaged in activities that are... I don't know why he doesn't do it, but it's worth asking the question. Why isn't that being done? Any country that interferes with us will, in fact, pay a price because they're affecting our sovereignty.
President Trump, same question to you. Let me ask the question. You're going to have 2 minutes to respond. For 2 elections in a row now, there has been substantial interference from foreign
See, that's what artillery crew does.
So let me respond to the first part.
Yeah, 33 FPS.
Still got $3.5
About the
million
match.
from Russia, and it came from Putin.
I'm trying to get to be as fast as I can. It's a pretty
You
important
got
point.
$3.5 million. Your family.
Oh, they're on it?
And, you know, someday you're gonna have to. I never got any money
Oh
from
my
Russia.
God.
I got money from Russia. You know, about your.
They need to
thing
stop
about-
firing. They need to stop firing at the church. Stop firing at the church.
John Radcliffe, who's fantastic, he said, one thing that's common to both of them, they both want you to lose. Because there has been nobody tougher than Russia.
Dude!
Between
Oh
the
my
sanctions,
gosh,
nobody
that's
tougher than
friendly
you and
fire.
Russia. Between the sanctions,
That's literally friendly fire. It's so annoying, I swear.
countries to put up an extra 130 billion going to
That's not anything.
I'll tell you, they were so bad. They took over the They took over a big part of what should have been Ukraine. You handed it to them, but you were getting a lot of corruption. What came out today?
I'm not sure what you know.
Of the kind of money that you were raking
in.
You were violent when some of this was happening, and it should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people.
On Charlie, I'm coming.
Somebody said at the news conference a little while ago who was essentially supposed to be your family. And regardless of me, I think you can talk to the American people. Maybe you can do it right now.
Vice President Biden, you may respond.
Administrator.
What? I almost see anyone right now.
From any foreign source. Learn this president.
That's what I'm trying to find right there. Exactly.
Was in China. In fact, it's talking about me taking money. I have not taken a single. So, two. This is the president I have released.
I think we traded me and that guy.
22 years. Go look at them.
I was trying to shoot that artillery gun because that thing's messing us up.
A single solitary year of your tax return. What are you hiding? Why are you unwilling? The foreign countries are paying you a lot. Russia's paying you a lot. China's paying you a lot. And your hotels and all your businesses all around the country, all around the world. And China's building a new road to a new golf course you have overseas. So what's going on here? Why don't release your tax return or stop talking about corruption?
President Trump, your response.
First of all, I hold my accounts under audit, and I release them as soon as we can. I want to show how successful, how great this company is, but much more importantly than that, people were saying $750. I asked them a week ago, I said, what did I pay? They said, sir, you prepaid tens of millions of dollars. I prepaid my tax. At some point, we think it's an estimate, they have to pay tax. So I already prepaid it. Nobody told me that. Nobody told you that. Excuse me. And it wasn't written whenever they write this. They keep talking about $750, which I think is a filing fee. But let me just tell you, I prepaid millions and millions of dollars in taxes. Number one. Number two, I don't make money from China. You do. I don't make money from Ukraine. You do. I don't make money from Russia. You made $3.5 billion, Joe.
There you go.
And your son gave you.
That's
they
what I
even
was
have a
waiting
statement
for.
that we have to give 10%. You're the big man. You're the big
Stay
man.
safe.
You're the big
Stay
man.
down.
You said we have to give 10% to the big man. Joe, what's that all
Brother
about?
Johnny King, left and open in the house in the far off corner. If you join in that house, we got 15. God, it's pathetic. I got it.
There are a lot of people in there, deep down in the IRS,
What the?
I get treated very badly by the IRS, very unfairly. But we had a deal all done. As soon as we're complete, I have paid millions and millions of dollars, and it's
Oh, sorry, I only had this used thing from like a week ago. Whatever you say.
I need you to plug the wound.
Respond very quickly.
Alright.
Now I kill more people, okay?
Nobody knows it. paid? He said, I only pay that
Hey,
little
Panzer's
because
on the
I know
left.
how to game
This
the
guy's
system.
coming up.
Come on.
The house.
And then I want to
Right there, for the resident.
I was going through
Someone's got a nade throw over there.
for 3 years. He started. No president should ever have to go through what he went through. Let me just say this. Mueller.
Dude, you got in the way.
Democrats and FBI agents all over the place spent $48 million. They went through everything I had, including my tax return.
Yeah, no, my medic walked in front of my fucking window and I blasted him instead of hitting the enemy.
48 million. I guarantee you, if I spend 1 million,
I am literally destroying people while listening to this talk.
it's all free, Joe, and they say you get some of it, and you.
And you're witnessing it.
We're popping us.
Bye. He's dead. Yeah, I popped his head off. I just shot a guy's head. He was just peeking that doorway.
Was anything about these relationships inappropriate or unethical?
Got him.
I hate to say this, but I killed him.
Somehow,
Yeah, who cares? We don't like the Frenchies. Guys, move it up! Guys, move it up! He's dead. You got blood on your face. More barn! 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 Barn!
Not a single thing. Number one. Number two, the guy who got in trouble in Ukraine was this guy trying to bribe the Ukrainian government to say something
I'm out of
negative,
bandages, I can't get you up.
which they would not do. It did not do because it never, ever happened. My son has not made money in terms of this thing. What are you talking about?
Doorway.
China. Nobody else has made money from China.
Shit, I'm talking about ammo. Alright,
All right. Okay, President Trump is in the office, never divested.
Ammo really bad.
So how do you
That's how the game works. You hold on to the lane for that time for a round, and then you win. And then you move on to the next area of transfer.
Doing business. The bank account you're referring to, which is everybody knows about it, it's listed. The bank account was
I need ammo really bad. Oh wait, I have ammo. What am I talking about?
It was closed in 2015, I believe. And then I decided, because I was thinking about doing a deal in China like millions of other people. I was thinking about it, and I decided I'm not going to do it. I didn't like it. I decided not to do it.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then, unlike him, where he's vice president and he does business, I then decided to run for president after that. That was before. So I closed it before I even ran for president, let alone became president. He is the vice president of the United States. His son, his brother, his other brother are getting rich. They're like a vacuum cleaner. They're sucking up money every
President Trump,
place
thank
he
you.
goes.
We do need to move on. I do want to ask you, Vice President Biden, about China. Let's talk about China more broadly. There have, of course, President Trump has said that they should pay for not being fully transparent in regards to the coronavirus. President, would you
I know where we are now.
Please be specific. What would that look
China must play by the international rules. Like he has caused the deficit of the We are making sure that in order to do business in China, you have to have a partner in China. It's 51%. We would not do that anymore, number one. Number two, we're in a
Alright, let's
situation
keep moving up.
China would have to play as well. When I met with Xi, when I was still vice president, he said we're setting up aerodynamic in the South China Sea. You can't fly through them. I said we're going to fly through them. We just flew B-52 through it. We're not going to pay attention. They have to play by the rules. What's he do? He embraces guys like the thugs like in North Korea and the Chinese president and others, and he pokes his finger in the eye of all of our friends, all of our allies. We make up
right.
only, we're 25% of the world's economy. We need to be having the rest of our friends with us saying to China, these are the rules, you play by them or you're going to pay the price for not paying by them, economically. That's the way I will run it, and that's what we did when we were president.
All right, let's talk about North Korea.
Excuse me, no, I have to respond to that.
Okay, very quickly, and then we're going to move on to North
with $1.5
Korea.
billion after spending 10 minutes in office and being in Air Force 2. Number one. Number two, there's a very strong email talking about your family wanting to make $10 million a year for introductions.
President Trump, on China policy, though, what specifically are you going to do? What's the
First of all, China is paying. They're paying billions and billions of dollars. I just gave $28 billion.
New sanctions?
$28 billion.
Taxpayers' money.
That's what?
Taxpayers' money.
You know the taxpayers. It's called China. China paid $28 billion, and you know what they did to pay it? They devalued their currency, and they also paid out.
Oh, hit the dirt. Didn't even suppress him.
Because they would target.
Unfortunate.
He never charged them anything. Also, I charged
Yeah, I can't even hear the debate because all the
on
explosions.
dumb
Yeah, I know.
steel Because they were killing our steel industry. We were not going to have a steel industry.
Okay.
And now we have a steel
Okay,
industry.
Vice President Biden, your response, please.
Our response is, look, this isn't about, there's a reason
No,
why
turn it up
he's
a bit.
bringing up all this
Turned it up a bit.
malarkey. There's a reason for it.
Malarkey.
He doesn't want to talk about the
Nice.
substantive
Malarkey.
issues. It's not about his family and my family.
Yeah.
It's about your family. And your family's
What is he talking about?
If you're making less than, if you're a middle-class family, you're getting hurt badly right now. You're sitting at the kitchen table this morning deciding, well, we can't get new tires on the wall because we have to wait another month or so. So you're going to be able to pay the mortgage. Or who's going to tell her she can't go back to community college? They're the decisions you're making. And middle-class families like I grew up in Spain, they're in trouble. We should be talking about your family.
That's why he's been trying to push stimulus checks.
I want to talk about North Korea. I do want to turn to 10 seconds, Mr. President.
That's
10
a
seconds.
typical political statement. Let's look at this China thing, and then he looks. Family, around the table, everything. Just a typical politician when I see that.
Let's talk about.
Let's get every subject of China and sitting around the table.
All right.
Come on, Joe, you can do better.
We're going to talk about North Korea now. President Trump has met with North Korea.
Gas going on.
Talked about your letters how the fact that there hasn't been a war or a long-range missile test, and yet North Korea recently rolled out its biggest ever intercontinental ballistic missile and continues to develop. Do you think that is a betrayal of the relationship?
No.
Or it's just 30 seconds here because
So when I met with
Missed his face.
It was supposed to be 15 minutes, and it was well over an hour. He said the biggest problem we have with North Korea. He indicated we will be in a war with North Korea. Guess what? It would be a nuclear war, and he does have plenty of nuclear capability. In the meantime, I have a very good relationship with him. Different kind of a guy, but he probably thinks the same thing about me. We have a different kind of a relationship.
See, he understands.
We have a very good relationship,
people.
and there's no war. And you know, about 2 months ago, he broke into a certain area. They said, oh, there's going to be trouble. I said, no, they're not, because he's not going to do that. And I was right. Look, instead of being in a war where millions of people, Seoul, you know, is 25 miles away, millions and millions, 32 million people in Seoul, millions of people would be dead right now.
President Trump, that's 30 seconds. Thank you. Vice President Biden, to you, North Korea conducting.
That's fair. I like this moderator. She's tough. She doesn't take crap, and Trump knows she's not taking crap.
They had to be part of the deal because
Those other guys, those other people were fools. Like town hall, presidential debate. That's terrible.
military maneuvers with South Korea. I said because North Korea is a problem, and we're going to continue to do it so we can control them. We're going to make sure we can control them and make sure they can't hurt us. And so if you want to do something about it, step up and help. If not, it's going to continue. What has he done? He's legitimized North Korea. He's talked about his good buddy, who's a thug.
Legitimized what?
He talks about how we're better off, and they have much more capable missiles.
I don't think he likes Kim Jong-un.
Territory much more easily than ever did.
Let me follow up with you, Vice President Biden. You've said you wouldn't meet with Kim Jong-un without preconditions. Are there any conditions under which you would meet with him?
And the condition that we agree that he would be drawing down his nuclear capacity to get the Korean Peninsula should be nuclear-free zone.
All right, let's move on to American families.
They tried
Very
to
quickly,
meet with
10
him.
seconds,
They
President.
tried to meet with him. He wouldn't do it. He didn't like Obama. He didn't like it. He wouldn't do it.
Okay,
No,
gotta
in
get
fact,
back
they
to
tried.
respond to that before we
He wouldn't do
move
it.
on.
And
No
that's
way.
okay. You know what? North Korea, we're not in a war. We have a good relationship. You know, people always say, having a good
President
relationship
Trump,
with
we
you.
have a lot of countries, a lot of questions to get to.
That's
Your
right.
response.
And we had a good relationship with Hitler before he in fact invaded Europe.
Okay, valid point.
The reason he would not meet with President Obama
Valid
is because
point.
President Obama said, we're going to talk about denuclearization. We're not going to legitimize your sanctions on you. That's why he wouldn't meet with him.
All right,
And it
let's
didn't
move
happen.
on.
I think we traded
You
because I
wanna
definitely
talk
heard
about
my gunshot.
American
mess, Kristen.
President Trump, okay, we do
They
need to move
left
on.
me a mess.
Yes, I'm actually
North
listening
Korea
to the
was a
political
mess.
debate.
And in fact, if
Move on
you
to
remember
the
Yes,
the
I'm
first
actually
2 or 3
other
months,
questions tonight.
I'm
there
just
was a very
listening to it,
dangerous
you
period
know?
in my
I'm
first
trying to
3 months
stream,
before
trying to
we
chill.
Sort of work things out a little bit.
Okay.
There was a very they left us a mess, and Obama would be, I think, the first to say it was the single biggest problem he thought that our country.
Okay, let's move on to American families and the economy. One of the issues that's most important to them is health care, as you both know. Today, there was a key vote on a new Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett, and health care is at the center of her confirmation fight. Over 20 million Americans get their health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. It's headed to the Supreme Court, and her administration
Seconds, we win.
advocated for the court to overturn it. If the Supreme Court does overturn that law, those 20 million Americans get their health insurance almost overnight. So what would you do if those people have their health insurance
First of all, I've already done through the legislature. I terminated the individual mandate. That is the worst part of Obamacare.
I don't know.
Individual mandate where you have to pay a fortune for the privilege
I do know,
of
but
not
I don't
having to pay for bad It's gone. Now it's in court.
The only person
If
making
Obama-
much sense right now, to be
Then I
honest
made
with
a
you,
decision. Run it
is
as well
Trump.
as you can.
Just
Run
saying.
it as well as you can. I could have gone the other route. Very unhappy. They ran it. Premiums are down. Everything's down. Here's the problem. No matter how well you run it,
Chill
what
and
we'd like to do is terminate it.
Yeah.
We have the individual
Chill and political
mandate
debate.
done.
Do not go to.
If we don't do it,
No, I'm chilling.
no longer is Obamacare because without the individual mandate, it's
I'll,
much different. Pre-existing conditions will always stay. What I would like to do is a much better health care, much better.
Yeah, Trump apparently has a decent idea for healthcare. It's better than the Affordable Care Act and still helps people.
The Democrats
That's
will
all
do
I'm
it
saying,
because
bro.
there'll be tremendous
People calling him
pressure there, and
racist,
we
he's
might
just
even
doing
have
what
the
he has
House
to
by
do.
that time, and I think we're going to
He's
win
just
that
he's
House.
just our president. Like it's only 4 years, and then you have these. So making your political candidate look bad by completely trashing a guy who won an election, never has been a political leader ever before. He's a businessman, first time ever running. Everyone thought it was a joke. People laughed, and then he wins the election. People blamed Russia. They quickly disproved that. I mean, not completely disproved, but to the point where it's not a relevant or valid argument to argue.
We have done an incredible job on
I might be
healthcare.
nerding out.
And we're going to do even better.
I think I just traded.
Okay, President Biden, yes.
I think I traded with the guy.
That Frenchie is having an epileptic
scene. So my question is, what is your plan?
Probably the guy I shot,
The law
yeah?
is ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
What I'm going to do is pass Obamacare with a public option. become Biden-care. Public option is an option that says that if you, in fact, do not have the wherewithal to be, if you qualify for Medicaid and you do not have the wherewithal,
Fix those big houses, boys. Make sure you got the money done.
Providing competition for insurance companies.
I don't want it.
Make sure we reduce premiums and reduce drug prices by making sure that there's competition that doesn't exist now by allowing
You're about to blow my mind. Drop it.
prices.
All right.
Insurance companies. Thirdly, the idea that
Go. Oh, man.
why I had
Flag.
to fight for
Flag.
20
I'll
candidates
find the
for
cover.
a nomination was I support private insurance. That's why I did not one single person with private insurance would lose their insurance under my plan, nor did they under Obamacare. They did not lose their insurance unless they chose.
I agree. Now, if they weren't going to be running the country, I'd probably think there's a decent significance there.
He's been talking about this for a long time.
I'm not too totally worried, because everything will be fine, like I said. That's exactly why...
The fact, I still have a few more minutes, I know you're getting anxious. The fact is that there's already cost.
I think someone can significantly destroy the country as the president. They can do things that are constitutional but overall bad decisions.
22 million more people who have it under Obamacare, and over 110 million people with pre-existing conditions, and all the people.
I don't know.
It's not
like it's a big difference too much between presidents. But you will get a president that will change the country. That will push things forward. Like,
healthcare plan, which includes a government insurance option, takes the country one step
you know,
closer.
presidents are also kind of generals. They're the
It's
chief.
ridiculous. It's like saying that we're the idea that the fact that there's a public option that people can choose, that makes it a socialist plan. I think healthcare is not a privilege; it's a right. Everyone should have the right to go to healthcare. And I'm very proud of my plan. It's gotten endorsed by all the major labor unions as well as a whole range of medical fields. This is something that's going to save people's lives. This is going to give them your health insurance your company's gone under. We have to provide health insurance for people at an affordable rate.
Excuse me, he was there for 47 years. He didn't do it. He was now there as vice president for 8 years, and it's not it was just a little while ago. Is more liberal than Bernie Sanders and wants it even more. Bernie Sanders wants it. The Democrats want it. You're going to have socialized medicine, just like you went with fracking. We're not going to stop fracking. We're going to stop fracking. When he goes to Pennsylvania after he gets a nomination, and he says, "Oh, we're going to have fracking." He never asked that question. And by the way, so far, somebody should ask the question. There will be
we have a number of topics we're going to get to. We're going to get to
the same thing with socialized medicine.
Vice President, you're responsible.
And the Biden care proposal will, in fact, provide for that affordable health care, lower premiums. What we're going to do is going to cost some money. It's going to cost over $750 billion over 10 years to do it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's also why things that presidents do is not always completely their fault.
With unexpected mobility and have your drug prices drop significantly. He keeps talking.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you literally can't do that.
For anybody on healthcare, not a thing.
Tristan, when he says public option, he's talking about socialized
But he
medicine
can
and healthcare.
propose ideas and push things through,
he's talking about
like the courts and stuff. He signs bills, he enacts them. You know, that can improve economics and the state of the country. Some decisions will be bad, and it's just how things are, and they'll be bad.
Let's hear
Like,
Vice President Biden.
but so far he's done things that are good. But people like Biden and stuff, they're all like, that's because
all those other people because I disagreed with them. Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, no, it's the court, but he passes them through.
We're in a situation that they're going to restore Medicare.
You know.
This is the guy that the actuary at Medicare said, if in fact, at Social Security, if in fact he continues to withhold his plan to withhold the tax on Social Security.
I understand. Like if you're a person, you want to vote for someone who is local that affects you.
No way to make up for it.
But the country is just an overall thing.
Medicare.
You vote for the president to do their job.
Come on.
Okay. He tried to get rid of Social Security years ago.
What are we seeing?
Look at the records. He tried to get rid of Social Security.
What are we looking at? I am getting a solid.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
I have 15 FPS. Now, you see, there is a reason to vote for a president. And it's not, I mean, you do what you want. There is a reason to. It's important for the overall broad spectrum of things.
$700 billion.
I don't like being controlled by social norms. I don't want to be controlled by social norms. I want to be able to be free, do what I want, not have to.
Let me move on to my next question. As of tonight, more than 12 million people are out of work, and as of tonight, 8 million Americans have fallen into poverty, and more families are going
not good.
every day. Those are targets.
Following what is everything,
They see Washington
especially if it's not working, and it's making you feel and other people feel the same way.
30 seconds.
Things have kind of flipped. You think of like a person who's like anti-establishment, like anarchist, like punk rock, like stuff like that, but that's not necessarily what it is. Right now, everyone in the country is saying that you have to be a certain way. You can't say this thing because it's bad, or you can't have this brand of syrup because it offends someone. Like that's so annoying. I don't like that. It's what people who are like punk are against, being controlled.
The United States Senate said he can't pass it.
And that's just my 2 cents on it.
He does not have Republican votes. Why
can't.
Is he talking to his Republican friends?
Let me follow up with you, Vice President
We made a
Biden,
deal,
because
the
let me ask Vice
We
President
lost.
Biden, you are the leader of the Democratic
that makes
Party.
sense.
Why have you not pushed the Democrats to get a deal for the American people?
Well, I have, and they have pushed it. Look, they passed this act all the way back in the beginning of the summer.
If you want to talk about the past and pushing things,
out there.
let's talk about how
This
you.
HEROES Act has been sitting there. And look at what's happening. When I was in charge of the Recovery Act with $800 billion, I was able to get $145 billion to local communities.
I haven't used this kit yet.
That have to balance their budgets, and states that have to balance their budgets. So then
Yeah,
have to fire.
the server's getting
firefighters,
full,
Teachers,
so
first responders, law enforcement officers.
You will
so they
notice
can keep
slowly
the
that my
cities
game
and
quality
counties
gets
running.
lower.
He will not support that. They have not done a thing for them. And Mitch McConnell said, let him go back to it. Let him go back to it. Come on.
The bill that was passed in the House was a bailout of badly run, high crime, Democrat, all run by Democrats, cities and states. It was a way of getting a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars to these states. It's a way of getting a lot of money from our people's pockets to people that come to our country illegally. We were going to take care of everything for them. And what that does, and I'd love to do everybody all over the world will start pouring into our country. We can't do it. This was a way of taking care of them. This was a way of spending on things that had nothing to do with COVID. But it was really a big benefit for badly run Democrat cities.
I hit that guy. He got down.
If I get elected, I'm running as a proud Democrat. I mean, American. I don't see red states and blue states. What I see is America, United States. And folks, every single state out there finds themselves in trouble. They're going to start laying off. Red or blue. cops, firefighters, first responders. It's because they capped the balanced budget, and the founders were smart. They allowed the federal government to deficit compensate for the United States of America.
Talk about the Mr. President, we are talking a lot about
What? Okay.
business owners these days.
I think my
Do you
barrel
think
was pointing
this is
right
the
at his face,
time
but
to
probably
ask them to
not,
raise the
considering.
minimum wage? You, of course, support a $15 federal minimum wage.
I do, because I think one of the things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bail them out too. We should be bailing them out now.
Why are you
Those
bailing
small
so many
businesses.
people out?
You got 1 in 6 of them going.
I mean, I know the
Not
businesses,
gonna be
yes.
able to make it
Bail the
back.
businesses
They
out.
passed
I didn't know he was
a
talking about.
package that allows us to be able to call PPP. Money
I thought if he was talking about countries
organize how they can
bailing
deal with
countries
their businesses being
out of
open
their
safely.
debt
Schools, how they
situations.
can make classrooms smaller, how they can hire more teachers, how they can put ventilation systems in. They need the help. The businesses as well
Looks like
as
an angry
schools
old
need
man.
the help.
I'm looking at
But
him right now.
These guys
Doesn't
will
look
not help
happy.
them.
Does
It's
not look
giving
happy
them
at all.
any of the money.
We are going to move on to
One
immigration,
thing very
but I
quickly,
want
he
to
said
get
we have to help the small businesses. I think it should be a state option. Alabama is different than New York. New York is different from Vermont. Every state is different. It should be a state option.
You said very
we have to
recently-
help. It's very important. We have to help the small businesses.
You
How are you helping the small businesses? Raising wages. What's going to happen, and what's been proven to happen, is when you do that, these small businesses fire many of their employees.
You said
Not
very
true,
recently you
by the way.
consider raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. You said recently you consider raising the federal minimum wage to
What I
$15 an hour.
really
Is that
like,
still the case?
and I would consider it to an extent, but I really like what I think in a separate administration, but not to a level that's going to put all these businesses out of business. It should be a state option. Have them in different places, and in different places. They're very different. In some places, $15 is not so bad.
I agree with what he's saying.
President Trump.
Some states do make the economics does not vary by country.
People are making 6, 7.
Like yes, a dollar is worth a dollar, but in a lot of taxes and everything, a dollar is worth something.
What's happening? They deserve a minimum wage of $15. Anything below that puts you below the poverty level. And there is no effort to raise the minimum wage. That is simply not true.
What was that?
Immigration. We're going to talk about You've since reversed your zero-tolerance policy.
Oh, we just traded.
Children are
The lag is pretty bad once a lot of people get in.
coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here. They used to use them to get into our country. We now have as strong a border as we've ever had. We're over 400 miles of brand new wall. You see the
Wall.
numbers, and we let people in, but they have to come in legally, and they come in through
But
merit.
how will you
But let
reunite
me
these
just tell
kids
you,
with their
let
families,
me just tell you,
Mr.
they
President?
built cages. You know, they used to say, I built the cages, and then they had a picture in a certain newspaper, and it was a picture of these horrible cages, and they said, look at these cages, President Trump built them, and then it was determined they were built in 2014. That was him.
Do you
They
have a
built
plan
cages.
to reunite the kids?
Yes,
with
we're
their
working
families?
on it we're trying very
Okay,
hard.
trying to
A lot
get
of
in a
these kids
different-
come out
different
without
game,
their parents.
sorry.
They come over through cartels and through coyotes and through gangs.
Trying to see
President
like
Biden, let me
a
bring you
server
into
that
this
has less
conversation.
people,
Quick
but
response and then another question to you.
These 500 plus kids came with parents. They separated them at the border to make it a disincentive to come to begin with. They real tough. We're really strong. And guess what? They cannot, it's not coyotes didn't bring them over. Their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents. And it makes us a laughing stock and violates every notion of who we are as a nation.
Let me ask you a follow-up
Kristen,
question.
they did it. We changed the policy.
Your response
they
to
did
that?
it.
We
We changed.
did not
They built the
separate the
cages.
they-
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking
cages,
about.
Joe?
Let's talk about what we're talking about. What happened? Parents were
Oh, man.
their kids were ripped
he's
from
not
their
telling
fathers
people
and
who built the
separated.
cages.
And now they cannot find over 500 sets of those parents, and those kids are alone. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. It's criminal. It's criminal.
Let me ask
Kristen,
you
I will
about
say this.
immigration.
They went
10
down.
seconds
We
and
brought
then I need to ask
reporters,
you.
everything. They are so well taken care of. They're in facilities so clean.
Alright, here we go.
Some of
Right.
them haven't been
Such good.
reunited
But
with
just
their
ask
families.
one question. Who built the cages? I'd love you to ask him that. Who built the cages?
Let me ask about your immigration policy, Mr. Vice President.
Hello?
The Obama administration did fail to deliver immigration reform, which had been a key
C'est là, on tous mis à
during the administration.
Hallo, Wacker. Moin. Hallo.
Hello.
Why should voters trust
Hallo. Can we do it?
Guten Tag.
Hallo, guten Tag. Hast du MG dabei? MG, do you have MG?
I do not. I have a rifle.
How can we build it?
We need to build.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. Run, run, run. I'll come.
How can we do the MG?
Yeah, I'm good with MG.
No, how we can build it?
Oh, I think you can.
I can build the MG.
Oh, I just got stabbed.
Oh shit, bro. Nice try.
First responders out there taking care of people during this crisis.
He's still swinging at us.
We owe them. We owe them.
Kristen, he had 8 years to do what he said he was going to do. And I've changed without having a specific. We got rid of catch and release. We got rid of a lot of horrible things that they put in and that they lived with. But he had 8 years he was vice president. He did nothing except build cages to keep children in.
Yeah, I can build it.
Came across and they were arrested. They, in fact, were given a date to show up for their hearing. They were released. And guess what? They showed up for a hearing. And this is the first president.
Alright, I'll spawn on you.
In another country. That's never happened before in America. That's never happened before in America. You come to the United States and you make your case that I seek asylum based on the following premise.
I'm sorry.
Sitting on the other side of the river.
Sorry, man.
President Trump, your response.
So
30
important.
seconds.
It just shows that he has no understanding of immigration or the laws. Catch and release is a disaster. A murderer would come in. A very bad person would come in. We have to release them.
Can I get on it real quick when we build it?
That's crazy, bro. I love it.
10% of the people.
I've never used this story.
That's fine. This guy looks crazy right now. What is he shooting at? What is he shooting at? What is he shooting at? Dude.
They never come back.
Hold on. Alright, I got it.
Those with the lowest IQ, they
Who's with the lowest IQ?
Nice, bro. Give it the hell. Oh, wow, bro.
It sounds so good.
Try it.
No! No! I'm not a cool German guy.
Why didn't he get his overtime? That's dumb.
Something called the talk. It happens regardless of class and income. Parents who feel they have no choice but to prepare their children for the chance that they could be targeted, including by the police, for no reason other than the color of their skin. Mr. Vice President, in the next 2 minutes, I want you to speak directly to these families. Do you understand why these parents fear for their children?
Let me turn this part off.
I do.
I don't want to watch it.
You know, my daughter is a social worker, and she's written a lot about this. She has a graduate degree from the University of Pennsylvania.
Wow. Okay, tell us more about your daughter. Yes, please.
One of the reasons why I ended up
over this important issue, let's hear about all your credibility of your daughter. We want to hear what you have to say.
More about what was going on. What I never had to tell my daughter, if she's pulled over, make sure she puts for a traffic stop.
That's all you have to say.
Put both hands on top of the wheel.
That's all you had to say.
Don't reach for the glove box because someone may shoot you.
That is something you tell. I've been told that.
No matter how wealthy or how poor they are, has to teach their child when you're walking down the street.
Because
have a
it's
hoodie on when you go across the street, making sure that you, in fact,
Listen, in my opinion, it is common courtesy to do that.
hands on top of the wheel, because you are.
Say yes, sir, because you respect.
A person making $300,000 a year person, or someone who's on food
How would you
stamps.
feel if some customer came into your store?
Is institutional racism in America, and we have always said we've never lived up to it. But we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women are created equal. Guess what?
Nice German dude. I want to find that dude. Hopefully I find him on the battlefield. Somewhere, just still on my team.
Further and further to inclusion, not exclusion.
I don't see him.
This is the first president to come along and says that's the end of that.
Oh, he's right here. He's on the other team.
Oh,
I'll
you
kill
guys are
him.
just gonna charge straight through,
Better education,
Yeah, let's go.
better healthcare,
Oh!
Jesus.
schooling, better access to opportunity to.
We should put this man. We need to put this man down for fucking murdering.
I've laid out a clear plan as to how to.
Stop screaming. Stop it.
So
Fuck.
wait. I want to
He
see.
shot
I want to see
somebody.
if you can
Stop
survive a
shooting
shot
each
to the
other.
to the front of the skull, or if that armor doesn't actually do anything. I want to test it so bad. It's so tempting.
Yes, I do. And again, he's been in government 47 years. He never did a thing except in 1994 when he did such harm to the black community. And they were called, and he called them super predators. And he said that. He said it, super predators. And they kept never lived that down. 1994, the crime bill, the super predators. Nobody has done more for the black community than Donald Trump. And if you look, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln, possible exception, but the exception of Abraham Lincoln, nobody has done
Possible.
what I've done.
Come on, Tom. You know Abraham Lincoln.
And jail.
Come on.
I
Yeah, that would be a real shame, man.
Because they had no chance of doing it. They might have wanted
Please
to
don't.
do it, but if you had
Don't
to
worry,
say
man.
the arms
I
out and
wouldn't.
twist to get that done,
Yeah.
Let's move. Yet.
Go.
Go, go, go!
Buggers.
Let's do this! Charge, man!
Buggers. Bring the flag.
Oh, it's this map. I love this map.
criminal justice reform.
I love you, man.
Zones with Tim Scott, a great senator.
Rushing B.
South Carolina.
Rushing B. Rush B, rush B, rush B.
Incredible idea for opportunity zones.
Rush B.
Programs.
Давай, давай.
Investment.
Давай.
The biggest beneficiary, the black and Hispanic.
Oh, these people are done.
Historically black. Knowledge is universities. After 3 years of college,
Granada!
they came into the office and they said, I said, what are you doing?
It's a Swagger 2, man. It's Swagger 1 and Swagger Kaiser. I'm fucking here, bro. Burning Kaiser, man.
And I gave them more money than they asked for because they said,
Oh, I'm very dead. I have died very badly. I need to turn this back up.
colleges and universities.
Okay, and we're going to talk about both of your records, but your response to that, Vice Mayor.
My response to that is I never, ever said, accuse me of saying. The fact of the matter is, in 2000, after the crime bill had been in the law for a while, this is a guy who said, the problem with the crime bill, there's not enough people in jail. There's not enough people in jail. And go on my website, get the quote, the date when he said it. Not enough people. He talked about marauding gangs, the people who are going to maraud our cities. This is a guy who in the Central Park five innocent black kids
thank you, sir.
making sure that they got the death
Yeah, I
penalty.
see them. I just need a rifle because,
We're guilty
you know,
of
this
what the crimes they were.
I'm gonna go to A now.
Look, and talk
After
about
I get healed.
Granted,
You
did
do.
the fact that
Alright, I'm gonna rush
20
C.
people, he killed 20 people sentenced. Big killed over 1,000. The very law he's talking about is a law that, in fact, initiated by Barack Obama. And secondly, we're in a situation here where the federal prison system was reduced by 38,000 people under our administration. And one of these things we should be doing, there should be no minimum territories. That's why I want $20 billion to change those state laws to eliminate territories and set up drug courts. No one should be going to jail because they have a drug problem. They should be going to rehabilitation. We should fundamentally change the system, and that's what I'm going to do.
Why didn't you do it 4 years ago? Why didn't you do that 4 years ago, even less than that? Why didn't you do it? You were vice president. You keep talking about all these things you're going to do, and you're going to do this. But you were there just a short time ago, and you guys did nothing.
We did.
You know, Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama. Because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run. I ran.
Yo, it's you again. What's up?
You now, you're a politician. I ran because of you.
Hey,
All right, Vice
German
President
guy's
Biden,
here.
your response to that, and then I do have some questions.
Hey, Waka!
Hey, what's up?
My small leader is my best friend here. And I joined him here. It says, nice.
Yeah, I saw that. I was very sad.
Anxious to have this race.
I was very sad that you were on
You need FG, bro.
Yeah, we do.
Countries on the battlefield. Our character. Look at us closely.
Let me ask some follow-up. Please respond.
I'm coming.
It's true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq. If this is true, then he's a corrupt politician. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Nobody's.
I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue
from hell.
President Trump,
Nobody.
we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
And I
you've
have to
just
respond to that.
please,
Look,
very
there
quickly.
are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what this is accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia.
I want to stay on the issue.
You have to be kidding. Here we go again with Russia.
On the issue of the Black Lives Matter movement as a symbol of faith. You shared a video of a man chanting white power to millions of your supporters. You've said that black professional athletes exercising their First Amendment rights should be fired. What do you say to Americans who say that kind of language from a president is contributing to a climate of hate and racial strife?
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. I said, what's a glimpse of Black Lives Matter. I thought it was a terrible thing. As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I'm a racist person in this room.
What do you think Americans
I don't know what to say. I got criminal justice reform done.
You're epic, man.
Community zones. I took care of black colleges.
What else?
I don't know. Ow! They can say anything. I mean, they can say anything. It's a very. It makes me sad.
Pick me up.
Because I am.
Pick me
I
up,
am
bro.
the least racist. I can't even see the audience because it's so dark. But I don't care who's in the audience. I'm the least racist person.
He's gonna die
in this
picking
room.
me up.
Okay, Vice President Biden, let me ask you very quickly, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Abraham Lincoln here is one
Thank
of
you.
the most racist presidents we've had.
Dankeschön.
I'm okay. I'm on Asian Beckers.
Started off his campaign saying
Danke.
Mexican rapists and Muslims. He has moved around and made everything. He says about the poor people.
Bro, it happens again. I'm gonna give up, or maybe not, because it's coming.
Big as a foghorn.
President Trump, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to respond, and then I have a follow-up.
You made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
You said
where
you're
did
Abraham
that,
Lincoln.
No, where did that? No.
You
I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community.
And I'm
I
saying-
didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since.
I'm
Abraham
squad leader.
Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community. No, I've done nothing.
Okay, I'm not peeking this corner anymore. It has not worked.
Tens of thousands of
black men.
So I'm gonna peek this
mostly
corner.
In jail.
All right,
True.
let me
And you know what?
let me
They
ask
remember
Vice
it because
President
if you
Biden
look
a
at what's
question.
happening with the voting right now,
Let me ask
they
Vice
remember
President
that
Biden
you treated them
about-
very, very badly. Just
They-
take a look at what's happening out there.
Vice President Biden, let me give you a chance to respond within this context. Crime bills that you supported in the 80s and 90s contributed to the incarceration of tens of thousands of young black men who had small amounts of drugs in their possession. They are sons, they are brothers, they're fathers, they're uncles. Families are still to this day, some of them suffering. So speak to those families. Why should they do it?
One of the things is that in the 80s, we passed 100%, all 100 senators voted for a bill on drugs and how to deal with drugs. It was a mistake. I've been trying to change the sense, and particularly the portion on cocaine. That's why I've been arguing that, in fact, we should not send anyone to jail for a pure drug offense. They should be going into treatment across the board. That's what we should be spending money on. That's why I set up drug courts, which were never funded by our Republican friends. They should not be going to jail for
Crucial.
a drug or an alcohol problem.
Yeah.
They should be
What do you
going
think
into
about it?
Treatment. That's what we've been trying to do. That's what I'm going to get done because I think maybe the American people have now seen that in fact it was a mistake to pass those laws related to
Obviously, it was a
drugs. They
mistake.
were not in the crime bill.
But why didn't he get it done? See, it's all talk, no action with these politicians. Why didn't he get it done? That's what I'm going to do when I become president. You were vice president along with
Snipe that
Obama
one
as
guy.
your president, your leader, for 8 years. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years to get it done. Now you're saying you're going to get it done because you're all talk and no action, Jim.
We got a lot of it done. We released
Get
38,000.
anything
We got
done.
38,000 prisoners. Roughly.
You got nothing done.
38,000 prisoners were released from federal prison. There were over 1,000 people who were given clemency. In fact, we're the ones that put in the legislation saying we could look at pattern and practice of police departments and what they were doing, how they were conducting themselves. I could go on, but we began the process. We lost an election. That's why I'm running to win back that election and change his terrible policy.
I just asked one question. Why didn't you do it in the 8 years, a short time ago? Why didn't you do it? You just said, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. You put tens of thousands of mostly black young men in prison. Now you're saying you're going to undo that. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years with Obama.
What is
You know why, Joe? Because you're all talk and no action.
All right, Vice President Biden, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
We had a Republican Congress. That's the answer.
Well,
Okay.
you got to talk them into it, Joe.
All
Sometimes
right.
you got to talk them into it.
We're going to move on to our next section,
Like I
which
did
is
with criminal
climate
justice
change.
reform. I had to
Okay.
talk Democrats into it.
Gentlemen, we're running out of time.
So
we
I got
gotta
this
get on to
pistol,
climate
so
change,
I'm chilling with
please.
the pistol
You
for right
both
now.
have very different visions on climate change. President Trump, you say that
Climate
environmental
change,
regulations
yes.
have hurt jobs in the energy sector. Vice President Biden,
Yes,
you
that's
have
true.
said you see addressing climate change as an opportunity to create new jobs. For each
Okay.
of you, how would you both combat climate change and support job growth at the same time? Starting with you, President Trump, you have 2 minutes
Support
uninterrupted.
job growth.
So we have
The easy
green
way
trees
is to do what
program.
Trump's
We
trying
have
to
so
do.
many different programs. I do love the environment, but what I want is the cleanest, crystal clear water, the cleanest air. We have the best, lowest number in carbon emissions.
Yeah, that's the
which is
thing,
a
though.
big standard.
You can't be
I know
complaining
Obama
much about
goes
us
with all
when
the
we
time. Not
when
Joe,
we
I
are
haven't
not
heard
a
Joey's
super
because I'm
duper
not sure he
duper
knows what
huge
it
contributor.
represents or means, but I
Countries
have
like
heard
China, we gotta
Obama
be
use it.
working on
And we have
getting
the
countries like
best
China to
carbon
cut
emission
down to the point with
numbers
us.
that we've had in 35 years under this administration. We are working so well with industry, but here's what we can't do. Look at China, how filthy it is. Look at Russia. Look at India.
Yeah.
It's filthy.
By
The
antics.
air
See,
is
people
filthy.
already have this
The Paris
mindset
Accord, I took us out
of Trump
because
as
we
being
were
a
gonna have to
racist dude.
spend
When
trillions
you
of
look
dollars,
at
and we
before
were
he was
treated
president,
very
no one had a
unfairly.
problem
When
with
they
him.
put us in there, they did us a
And,
great
you know,
disservice.
he
We're
wasn't
gonna destroy our
racist.
businesses.
But Biden has
I
a
will
history
not
of doing things that have
sacrifice
been
tens of
objectively
millions of
racist
jobs,
things
thousands
to
and
do and
thousands
say.
of companies because of
You know?
the Paris Accord.
I am gonna call BS.
Russia goes back to a low standard, and we
all my shots
kicked
went
in
around
right
that guy.
away, It
I don't know. Maybe hit registration.
It would have destroyed our business itself.
I've heard hit registration in this game is not very good.
He has one of those new energy shields.
The cleanest air, the cleanest water,
Yeah?
and the best
Oh, so did you get caught by his energy shields
that
too?
we've seen in many years.
Yeah, I did.
Vice President
And we
Biden.
haven't destroyed our
Yeah, because
industries.
he was point blank with me,
Vice
and I'm
President
pretty
Biden,
sure my
2
barrel was
minutes to
pointing
you
right at him,
uninterrupted.
but it was hitting the wall where he was previously before.
Warming,
I don't know.
global warming is the next essential
Yeah, they
threat to
some sort of
humanity.
magnetic thing that like
We have
bends
a
bullets or
moral
something. Yeah,
obligation
it's a crazy
to
French
do it.
technology.
And we're told by all the leading scientists
I think it's the
in
blue
world,
uniform that
we
does
don't
it.
have much time.
It's like so blatantly
yeah,
obvious
Point of no
that
return
it's
within the next 8
indestructible.
to 10 years. 4 more years of
That's
this
a good
man
point. I think you might be onto
eliminating
something
all
there.
the regulations that were put in by us to clean up the climate, to clean
It's
up,
the blue.
to limit
the blue.
limit of emissions.
Destructible.
Will put us in a position where we're going to be in real trouble. Here's where we have a great opportunity. I was able to get both all the environmental organizations as well as labor, people worried about jobs, to support my climate plan. Because what it does, it will create millions of new good-paying jobs.
And he
We're
has
gonna
a point.
invest in, for example, 500,000.
I'm gonna let him have his
50,000
points.
50,000
I'll give it to him.
charging stations
I'll say when
on our
I hear something I
highways,
like.
so that we can own the electric car market of the future. In the meantime, China is doing that. We're going to be in a position where we're going to see to it that we're going to take 4 million existing billions.
Thing is, Trump's
buildings
already doing a
and 2
good
million
job, so
existing
why do we
homes
need you
and
to
retrofit them so they
come
don't
in and
leak as
change
much
something
energy,
completely?
saving hundreds of
I don't
millions
see
of
that as a
barrels
good
of
thing,
oil
personally.
in the process, and creating significant number of jobs. And by the
Personally.
way, the whole idea of what this is all going to do, it's going to create millions of jobs, and it's going to clean the environment. Our health and our jobs are at stake. That's what's happening. And what right now, by the way, the Wall Street firm indicated that my plan will in fact create 18.6 million jobs, 7 million more than his. This is from Wall Street. And I'll create $1 trillion more in economic growth than his proposal does. Not on climate, just on the economy.
President Trump, here.
Today came out and said very strongly, $6,500 will be taken away from families under
Honestly?
his plan. That his plan is an economic disaster. If you
In
look at what he wants to do,
2016,
you know, if you look at his plan,
Nothing
his
to do with
environmental
climate.
plan, you know who developed
I was like,
it? AOC plus 3.
about
They
Trump.
know nothing about the climate. I mean, she's got a good line of stuff, but she knows nothing about the climate. And they're all hopping through hoops for AOC plus 3. Look, their real plan cost $100 trillion. If we had the best year in the history of our country for 100 years, we would not even come close to a number like that. When he says buildings, they want to take buildings down because they want to make bigger windows into smaller windows. As far as they're concerned, if you have no window, it could be a lovely thing. This is the craziest plan that anybody has ever seen. And this wasn't
Oh no, Windows.
smart people. This wasn't done by anybody. Frankly, I don't even know how it can be good politically. They want to spend $100 trillion. That's their real number. He's trying to say it was 6. It's $100 trillion. They want to knock down buildings and build new buildings with little, tiny, small windows. I mean, and many other things.
Okay.
And many other things.
Let me have the Vice President
It
respond,
is
and we're running out of
crazy.
time, and we have a lot
And
more
will
questions to
destroy
get
our
to.
country.
So let's hear from the Vice President. I have a number more questions.
I don't know where he comes up with these numbers. $100 trillion. Give me a break. This plan.
They are capturing all of the
This
points.
plan is endorsed by every major
So,
environmental
spread
group
out.
and every labor
I'm
group.
going south.
Labor, because they know the future lies. The future lies in us being able to breathe, and they know their good future is there. And by the way, the fastest growing industry in America is electric, solar energy, and wind. He thinks wind causes cancer. They pay good $20 an hour. We can
Healing of
grow
energy.
and we can be cleaner if we go.
Independent for the first time. We don't need all these countries that we had to fight war over because we needed their energy. We are energy independent. I know more about wind than you do. It's extremely expensive, kills all the birds, it's very intermittent, got a lot of problems, and they happen to make the windmills in both Germany and China. And the fumes coming up, if you're a believer in carbon emissions, the fumes coming up to make these massive windmills is more than anything that we're talking about with natural gas, which is very clean. One other thing.
Find me a scientist
Solar.
said that.
I love solar, but solar doesn't quite have it yet. It's not powerful yet to really run our big, beautiful factories that we need to compete with the world. So it's all a pipe dream. But you know what we'll do? We're going to have the greatest economy in the world. But if you want to kill the economy, get rid of your oil industry. And what about fracking?
All right, let me have
Medic.
allow Vice President Biden to respond.
Never said I oppose fracking.
You said
I did. Show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website. The fact of the matter is, he's flat lying.
Would you rule out banning fracking?
I would rule out banning fracking because the answer we need other industries to transition to get to ultimately a complete zero emissions by 2025. What I will do with fracking over time is make sure that we can capture the emissions from the fracking, capture the emissions from gas. We can do that, and we can do that by investing money and doing it. It's a transition to that.
I have one more question in this pod, and then
Excuse me,
we have...
he was against fracking. He said it. I will show that to you tomorrow. I am against fracking. Until he got the nomination, went to Pennsylvania, then he said, but you know what, Pennsylvania? He's going to very soon because his party is totally against
fracking on federal land. No fracking. No oil on federal land.
Let me ask this final question in this section, and then I want to move on to our final section. President Trump and people of color are much more likely to live near oil refineries and chemical plants. In Texas, there are families who worry the plants near them are making them sick. Your administration has rolled back regulations on these kinds of facilities.
Can I
Why
just
should these families give you another
send some guys to me? I need help on a field gun.
employed heavily, and they're making a lot of money, more money than they've ever made.
Hey, anyone want a man and field gun? Go to the squad. He needs help.
For black, for Asian, it's 9 times greater the percentage gain than it was in 3 years.
Anyone have ammo?
Under 8 years of the 2 of them, to put it nicely.
Anyone have ammo?
9 times more.
Rifleman, I need an ammo bag. Y'all got one?
I have not heard the numbers or the statistics that you're saying, but they're making a tremendous amount of money economically. We saved it, and I saved it again a number of months ago when oil was crashing because of the pandemic. We saved it. We got, say what you want about relationship, we got Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Russia to cut back, way back. We saved our oil industry, and now it's very vibrant again. And everybody has very inexpensive gas.
Hey, are you a rifleman?
President Biden, your response,
Oh, no,
and then we're
never
going to
mind.
have a final question for both of you.
My response is that those people live on the they live near chemical plants that in fact pollute, chemical plants and oil plants and refineries that pollute. I used to live near that when I was growing up in Claymont, Delaware. And all the more oil refineries in Marcus Hook and the Delaware River than there is any place, including in Houston at the time. When my mom get in the car...
Are you a rifleman, my friend? Oh, no,
you're not. Oil stuck in the window. That's why so many people in my state were dying and getting cancer. Those frontline communities, it doesn't matter what you're paying them, it matters how you keep them safe. What do you do? And you impose restrictions on the pollutions the pollutants coming out of those fence line communities.
Okay, I have one final
Would he
question.
close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close down the oil
By
industry?
the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I would
that's
transition.
a big statement.
It is a big statement because I would stop.
Why would you do that?
Because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
Here's the deal, but
That's
you
a
can't
big
do
statement.
that. Well, if you let me finish the statement, because it has to be replaced by renewable energy over time, and I'd stop giving to the oil industry. I'd stop giving them federal subsidies. He won't give federal subsidies to the gas,
federal
to
subsidies.
solar and wind.
Yeah.
Why are we giving it to oil industry?
We actually do give it to solar and wind.
We
And
have
that's
one
maybe the
final
biggest
question.
statement in terms of business. That's the biggest statement. Basically what he's saying is he is going to destroy the oil industry. Remember that Texas. We remember that Pennsylvania. Oklahoma.
Vice President Biden, let me give you 10 seconds to respond, and then I have to get to the final.
Take it out of context, but the point is, look, we have to move toward The first place to do that by the year 2035 is an energy reduction.
Hello.
By 2050.
I need someone to be alive so I can play Switch.
Is he going to get China to
Final question. We have to
I'm
move
going
on
to
to
Nine.
the final
join
question.
Paris Accord to make China abide by what.
This monster been a fight site?
Let me get up the Friedrich. Hey, hold up.
What will you say
Thank you.
in your address to Americans who did not vote for you? You'll each have 1 minute, starting with you.
We have to make our country totally successful. Prior to the plague coming in. Now we're rebuilding it, and we're doing record numbers.
Oh, that's a head glitch. He should not have been able to shoot me.
Go back. Before the plague came in, just before, I was getting calls from people that were not normally people that would call me. They wanted to get together. We had the best black unemployment numbers in the history of our country. Hispanic, women, Asian, people with diplomas, with no diplomas, MIT graduates, #1 in the class. Everybody had the best numbers. And you know what? The other side wanted to get together.
This does make me want to go play.
We are on the road to success. And he wants to raise taxes. And he wants to put new regulations on everything. He will kill it. If he gets in, you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen. Will go to hell.
Follow me, boys.
Very, very sad day for this country.
All right. Vice President Biden, same question to you. What will you say during your inaugural address to Americans who did not vote for you?
I'm an American president. I represent all of you, whether you voted for me or against me. And I'm going to make sure that you're represented. I'm going to give you hope. We're going to move. We're going to choose science over fiction. We're going to choose hope over fear. We're going to choose
science over fiction.
Enormous opportunities.
Okay, so science can't be.
We can grow this
It's not like
economy.
certain science.
We can deal with systemic racism.
I think I'm just
At the
stupid.
same time, we can make sure that our
That doesn't
economy
sound right.
is being run and moved and motivated by energy. Millions of new jobs. And that's the fact. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to say, as I said at the beginning, this country, decency, honor, respect, treating people with dignity, making sure that everyone has an equal chance. And I'm going to make sure you get there. You haven't been getting it the last 4 years.
Friedrich!
All right. I want to thank you both for a very robust hour and a half, a fantastic debate. Really appreciate it. President Trump, Vice President Joe Biden, thank you to Belmont University for hosting us tonight. And most importantly, thank you to those watching tonight. Election Day is November 3rd. Don't forget to vote. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Alright, shut up, lady. I don't care. Help me! It's fine, I'll give up. No big deal. Ah, sorry, I sneezed. Probably sounded really weird. Cause Alright, looks like we got the big boy gun now. Imagine, like, you're in this time period, and, like, this is what modern is to you. Like, you don't know anything of the future. Like, this is just a random, like, thought. But imagine, like, this clothing, this gun, was, like, the peak of technology. Like, it is the best that you could have. It's like, nowadays, you have guys with, like, night vision goggles, you know, that type of gear was like SMGs and stuff. Like, that was like the high-tech weapon era back then. And planes were like high-tech. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is like revolutionary warfare as well. Like, no one really fought like this before. That's why everything was so terrible. No one had any idea what was happening at any given time. Communication sucked. The peak of their technology was literally a wire that would always get blown up by artillery. Run away!
I'll protect you.
Basically, in this countdown, we can fight people and like shoot and stuff. But once that hits 0, we can't do any of that. This is a good spot to hold out. Right here. Rifleman, don't forget to place down your ammo bags if you got them. Take all my bayonet now. First Frenchie down.
Owie.
That's what that French dude I just said shot. I just said that wrong. The French dude I just said shot. That's what the French dude I just shot said. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. But that's not what came out of my mouth, so... Oh, I should not have been standing up. It's like a good rule of thumb is like 3 seconds peeking up. Or like 2 seconds. 2-3 seconds. And then you gotta get down. Else you're dead. I tried my luck, and I wasn't lucky at all. Let's fall back and capture all these points. He has a pistol. I should have known that. Good night, Corey. I'm probably going to bed too here.
I got the bastards.
Good job.
When is this war gonna be over?
Said every soldier in World War I. Should be a quick war, boys.
Dude, it's just boring, man.
Just another couple days.
Got you, bro. Oh God, who's screaming?
So y'all think we'll be home by Christmas or what?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Things seem like things are going pretty quick.
Yeah, this is gonna be the quickest war in existence.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the last one. It's gonna end all the other wars.
Yeah, it's gonna be the war to end all wars. You know.
We should just call it the Great War, because there won't be another one.
Yeah.
Hitler called. He has a different idea. What if one of the characters, like, randomly are just modeled as Hitler? Just at random. No particular order, just a random Hitler character model you see running around.
Thank you. That'd be hilarious. I'd shoot him on sight.
Yeah, even if he's my teammate, I'd just be like, bye. Nah, you know what? I would say, hey man, don't look at art. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Don't listen to what that art school man said.
Continue. And definitely don't look at politics. Definitely not your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, can you heal me? Medic! Bro, are you kidding me? How do I miss him? He's right in front of me. That's really embarrassing.
Sorry, boys, I can't bring you back.
It's okay. There's a medic somewhere. There's always a medic. Medic! Medic!
God damn it! There was a dude just standing there staring at me, and I was like, oh, that's a teammate, because I didn't see the blue. No, he was just sitting there reloading.
Alright, good night. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah, good night. And this is my new ending screen.